Welcome again to The Current, the second segment of the program. Don't forget that Current comes your way Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 10:30 to 12 noon, where we get to look at issues as it's burning, as it's affecting their country, Nigeria, and we'll bring those in authority, those who can speak forward on every of this edition to talk about our great country, Nigeria, and also the issues we would be discussing. And this morning on The Current, we are looking at the Labour Party and the coalition. Yes, the Labour Party and the coalition matters are rising. Why is it of interest to us this morning? If we are following the trend, yesterday, the growth of that movement metamorphosed to a force that made the All Progressive Congress to lose election in where we call it stronghold, which is Lagos, during the 2023 election. If not have been smart enough, the same will have repeated itself at the governorship election. But the government and also its candidates, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, swift into action to do everything possible to make the government irrelevant. And that was what made him to retain his seat as the number one citizen of Lagos State. Immediately after the election, the move for 2027 started by politicians and those who have seen the force, the movement of the obedient, especially in those in government, started their plan. And what was that plan? Planting the seed of disunity in the party called Labour Party and also its movement called the Obedient. You will agree with me that the so-called Obedient is becoming so unpopular. Also, the political party. The political party have in recent times plagued with so many crises. Do you want to talk about that of its leadership crisis? Where there is this claim of who is the rightful or legal chairman of the party. At a point, the party even established what is called National Working Committee to decide the affairs of the party until there will be election where the rightful chairman would be elected. Now, while we were thinking that we would be able to put together a kind of stronghold again using the Peter Obi and Obedience. Another thing built, and that happens to be the coalition party called ADC. Before we wink on our eye, yes, before the wink of our eyes, the driver of the obedient force jumped into the sea of the All Democratic Congress called ADC. African Democratic Congress called ADC. And the narrative changed. He joined the ADC with others who have contested for to become the Nigerian president at several locations, and to those who are seen to be aggrieved in their political parties. This coming together now has put the Labour Party in another dilemma. And what is that dilemma? And how do we move with that dilemma? With the hope that it won't be a dilemma to the political party, but something that would form a stronghold for the political party as 2027 is just around the corner. Okay, I won't be doing this conversation alone this morning. I will have joining me a communicator, a media expert, someone who has been a stakeholder when it has to talk with the brand Nigeria. He is a strategist leader, a tech-savvy communicator, a media specialist who has diverse and cross-cutting experience in all sectors. And that's the person of Yinka Olaito. He will be joining us over the phone to look at the case we are looking at this morning. We'll be discussing this morning on The Current. Yeah, we have our guest at the other side of the phone. I say, welcome to The Current and Melody 107.7 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fisayo.
Okay, yes, welcome. Okay, the voice you're hearing, yes, that's of our guest is Yinka Olaito, who is a strategic leader, a tech-savvy communicator, a media specialist. It's somebody who is informed about the happenings around the world. And today we will be taking on at a concerned Nigeria and also a public analyst. We are looking at the issue of the Labour Party and also the coalition. There has been back and forth. And in my introduction, I highlighted how the Labour Party gained its prominence, and that's in 2023, where there is the establishment of that netizen group called The Obedience. And now its candidate, also Peter Obi, became an average Nigeria preferred choice. But unfortunately, it didn't work out well for them at the 2023 election. And now 2027 is here. Why Nigerians are thinking this should be his opportunity to come back. He joined the moving train of the coalition, the ADC. Now, let's start from the angle of the Labour Party. Let's look at the crisis rocking the party in terms of leadership. I think it's one of the things that must have been responsible for the choice of Peter Obi to pitch tent with the coalition. Is this crisis ideological, personal, or structural in nature? Let's start from there.
Yeah, thank you, and good morning, viewers. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm glad to be here. You guys are doing great jobs at the radio station. I must commend your efforts.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's go straight to the issue at stake. I will be talking as a professional public analyst, not somebody who has any bias or any interest in either of the party, either Obi or the Labour Party. I want us to look at it from the angle that when Peter Obi joined LP, he brought that party to limelight. The Labour Party had never been a party that can command any form of attention prior to Obi and Obedient, like you said. As you know, Obedient movement brought all the limelight and the recognition and relevance that Labour Party enjoy, as far as I'm concerned. But in between, we already know that for me, I stand to be corrected. Labour Party is not really a strong ideological party, but a candidate-driven party. Even though they claim that they are in favor of issue of labor and the masses, I haven't seen anything very, very strong enough to convince an average Nigeria that the party is here to serve the people and to uphold the masses and alleviate their suffering. Now, look at what has happened so far. Even before the election, the 2023, after the election, the party has been involved in several crises. There are about three factions now. There's Abure-led that is recognized by the Labour Party. There's also the Lamedia Apapa-led faction that went oblivion, but they are still struggling to be relevant in that party. There's also the OBOT, Nenandi Osman, led Stakeholder Forum. And you are wondering, what is the reason for all these functions, if not for self-interest or a need to be recognized or to pursue an agenda, personal agenda over the interest? Because party should be about interest, and the interest should always collaborate and converge on an ideology. So as far as I'm concerned, if Obi leave the Labour Party eventually, I think that the Labour Party will have to reorganize and to refocus. Otherwise, leaving the Labour Party for Obi. And interestingly, Obi Group has said that they have not made any official statement to say we have left. Even though Aburele is saying that Obi must resign before he joined the any coalition. But one will not blame Obi, because if you are the face of the party, the brand ambassador, and yet nobody still appreciates your effort. Obi had brought a youth-led organization, youth-led perspective to that party, and I think that ideally Labour Party will have latched into that and take advantage of the opportunities, as well as agrees on terms. That because it's about agreement, it's about synergy. Nobody can have it all in a party that has. Don't forget that Obi himself put like 6.1 million votes because of his movement alone in 2023. If Obi leave and it's not properly managed, as far as I'm concerned, let's see how many. Check the history of Labour Party prior to Obi 2023. How many votes did they have in the previous election? So it's an indication that Obi is a strong force in that party. But fortunately, because of the internal wranglings, internal disputes, lack of agreement, Obi's intention is to serve the people. Maybe, maybe not. According a politician will say they want to serve the people. If they really want to serve the people, to be honest, and there's internal wrangling, he couldn't win the election in 2023. He is bound to be looking for opportunities here and there. But as of today, Obi movement has not said they have left the party, Labour Party, because there was no official statement to that, even though the obnobbing and the movement here and there is a signal that anybody will be worried about. So as far as I'm concerned, the Labour Party need to, first of all, put their house in order. You can't have like three functions in that in a party and you continue to do. If Obi actually leave, there's going to be mass erosion of LP support base. Because I want to believe that Obi is the one that brought all the razzmatazz and the population to that. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee for Obi yet in the coalition too. So it's still a dicey water that both party, both the LP and Obi movement need to begin to strategically think about. I think that will be for each as an introduction.
Okay, I want to pick from your words, and that is the case of the reactions of the faction of the Labour Party. The Abure-led LP, some times ago when Obi rubbed shoulder with the coalition, gave Peter Obi about 48 hours to leave the political party. And also another faction, the Nenadi's faction, back Obi coalition talks, disagreeing with the Abure's faction. Now, let's look at it. An individual has not resigned officially from your political party and rubbing shoulder with another political party. Do you need him? Do you need to give him ultimatum to either resign or come back? If you can do away with such person, does that mean that the political party it is structureless or cannot stand without Peter Obi as an individual?
Yeah, for me, like we have said, if you look at the history, Peter Obi joining the Labour Party brought a lot of, he galvanized a lot of youth-led and youth-dominated political movement, which is the Obedient. This propelled Labour Party to gain the prominence they gained. Minus Obi in 2023, I don't think that Labour Party will have come to the limelight that they had. Unfortunately, maybe, you see, there's what we call ego and personal interest, which in political party system should be managed, because the party structure should lead the direction at which you go. Unfortunately, internal party crisis continue to rear its head in Labour Party. Abure-led continue to, and we can see the Abure-led faction too, that they obnob with here and there. Sorry to say, use that word. They also obnob, they also move around. Everybody is looking for how to bother their bread and all of that. And if you say you are Labour Party, I think that you should focus on issue of people, that is the Labour itself. Unfortunately, the political system analysis of Labour Party show that it is weak without Obi. It has a weak institutional structure as far as I'm concerned, and Obi remain the candidate that brought that party to limelight. And for me, Labour Party remain a candidate-centric ideological party, because when you talk about Labour Party, it's only Obi that people are talking about. Check all the state governors in the 2023 election. They rode on the wing of Obi as a person. A few of the maybe House of Representatives, local government chairperson, local government councillors that even made it at the end of the day, they rode on Obi and obedient populist ideology. So I'm of opinion that if I am in any way close to Abure-led or any of the faction, it is good to manage a brand that is giving you the limelight. Otherwise, you go into oblivion, like what happened to Labour Party before 2023. Before 2023, check the election, check the result that FP got at the national, at the presidential, the state, and all of them. In 2023, FP won Lagos State presidential election. That has never happened. And it's based on Obi, I'm sure it's based on Obi and obedient and all of them.
Of course.
So it has nothing to do with the governor or whatever. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that Labour Party leaders are not very conversant with the happenings in the society, or they feel that they are bigger than a candidate that has brought them that limelight and good luck. As far as I'm concerned, well, I'm not saying that Obi is flawless, but he brought something to that party that they should appreciate.
Okay, talking about the party's ideology and what is good for the party, the vice presidential candidate for the Labour Party yesterday granted an interview. Yes, and in his comment, he said that Peter Obi is free to seek the party's presidential ticket for 2027 election, whether or not he returns as his running mate. And of one funny statement he made was that the Labour Party, let me quote him out. He said the Labour Party welcomed him to still come and retain the Labour Party ticket and contest in 2027 with or without me. And the ADC is welcome to adopt a certain candidate, Baba Ahmed said. Now, what do I want us to look at from that statement? Could it be a case of Baba Ahmed seeing Obi not being comfortable with him as his running mate? Probably is a reason why he is thinking of jumping ship. Or could it have been of the fact that there is a faction, a political party, claiming to take over from the ruling party, and it already has about 3 factions? Could it be those internal crises that has prompted Obi to see that party as not healthy enough to contest and win an election in Nigeria?
I want to say first, as far as I'm concerned, and I stand to be corrected, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed is a loyal Obi person. Is a loyalist from everything that I've seen. Very few parties are loyal like Dati to Obi, as far as I'm concerned. But at the same time, He's also weighing his own option in case he is out of LP. He may likely want to throw himself up as the next person to beat in the party, because don't also forget the northern fourth bloc is a major issue in Nigeria. And so he might be thinking that he may be able to drive that for the party. But I'm not seeing that happening, because the election of 2023 did not show a lot of strength for Dati as an individual, even though he's a very good person and he has a name to protect. Now, the public statement he made, I don't think that is anything new for a politician to make. It's not a surprise for a politician to make, because you want to be in the news also, and you want to carefully weigh your word. As far as I'm concerned, his statement is neither here or there. He's not fighting Obi, he's not fighting LP. But I'm thinking also, the calculation is, peradventure he moves on to the other coalition, he may want to present himself as a candidate to beat. So as far as I'm concerned, it is all about politics. And we can only wait until maybe next year to see how this pan out in politics, because some of the things that you and I see as an observer, permutation can change within 24 hours. So we need we need to not come to any strong conclusion about that. But everybody knows that he himself is aware that there are too much function and internal wrangling with that third party, and you need unity to actually scale anything. Without unity, you don't go anywhere. We can all go further if we rely on each other's strength. But where you are often fighting, it's always internal wrangling. I think that Labour Party is not ready, as far as I'm concerned. And therefore, a forward-looking politician also will be weighing his option. And I think that is what that he is trying to do now for his statement. If the opposition coalition 20 want to defeat Tinubu, then it must suppress individual ambition and prioritize Nigeria collective interest. That's my advice to Labour Party. The Tinubu function is very strong for now, as far as I'm concerned. If they are not very careful and they are building bridges, they are getting more people into join APC. They are always making the party Nigeria a one-party state. So if there's internal wrangling, neither PDP or Labour Party will succeed in 2027.
Okay, talking about the coalition, where we have the likes of that Peter Obi has joined, where we have the likes of Atiku Abubakar, Rauf Aregbesola, and other big wigs in Nigerian political terrain. Do you see that coalition addressing the fact or the perception that Nigerian politics is personality driven rather than policy driven?
We already know that is personality and ambition driven. That's my own opinion. It's often personality and ambition driven, oftentimes, when you look at it. As long as your common interest is not protected, you will want to see where your interest is protected. If you look at 2023 election, it shows deep fractures in Nigeria political space, particularly among PDP, FD, and then NLP. Peter Obi emergency disrupted the old two-party system. So you will look at it and the fracture is more of personal interest, not really ideology. Why do people, if it's ideology driven, why do people win election on party A and they cross carpet? Now, for your information, as you will know, we are all journalists, we are all public affairs. APC is gaining more senators in the National Assembly. They are now 70. Meanwhile, it was around 55 when they came in.
Yeah.
If it is If it is an ideological driven thing, why the move? Why all this thing? Why you should be able to stay? In fact, as an average politician, what is the ideology of your party? They don't know. What is the goals that you want to? What's your maybe your 7-point agenda, whatever agenda? Ask average. In fact, if you want to make it worse, ask the local government chairman or the councillor that competed on APC and won in Lagos State. Ask them what's the ideology of APC. What are they looking for? You will find out that it's about personal interest. So if you continue to say it's about ideology, I think we're really deceiving ourselves. We are not yet there. And if you look at the new coalition too, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and all of them, and they're discussing what has changed. These people were part of all the frontline party, PDP, all of them have cross-carpeted from one party to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. If it is ideological based, why the cross-carpeting? Why not stay there? You will find only few people who have been in PDP or APC since 1999 that still remain there. These are people who want things to change. It's about political realignment or personal political realignment. That's what I've said. So even the new coalition is personal ambition and personal political ambition realignment. Nothing. It's not about reforms or it's about people. When you look at it, it's a lie that we. And even the challenges that I see with the coalition, ego and ambition is still there. Everybody is talking, I will do this, I will do this. Ego and ambition. In fact, the coalition also has ideological differences or personal ideological differences. Let's not say corporate or organizational ideological differences. All they want is who can I meet, who can I relate with, who can help me galvanize the vote from different things. We still have ethnics and regional politics playing here and there. Or whatever you think about that. We still have trust deficit among the so-called coalition and leaders. They do not even trust one another like that. So what are we talking? So trust deficit is everywhere, even among the politicians. Go and check the coalition. It's a matter of time. All this one that they are trying to build, let's see how far they can go with it. But ask them when you have time to, if they are going to tell the truth, ask Atiku, Aragoshela, all of the leaders that have come together. Do you actually trust your coalition? They will say, let's just continue. And when we get to the bridge, we will cross it. That's my own thing that I see. And I'm not sure that we are really serious yet. We still have loose alliances, multiple candidates, and as 2027 unfold, we will see what works and what does not work. Full merger may not be possible as far as I'm concerned. Egos will prevent that full merger and centralization of ideology. I see that. Only thing we can likely see is we can talk about strategic coalition without a merger, where you just want to take a vote from one block or from one ethnic environment or from one class or from whatever. So until we are ready, I'm not sure that the present coalition is also fragmented as far as I'm concerned.
Now, so, why would you say that? Let us just come together and stop what we do not like in this government, not a move of personal interest.
My brother, if you say that is, it will be a move. If you look at before now, even if it is because a move of we are tired, it is still about personal ambition as far as I'm concerned. Look at APC and NNC something, whatever, the former president Buhari party and whatever party before they merged as APC. when you weigh your options and you know that you cannot go anywhere, the only thing is to go and dine with the devil. And when you know that you are not going anywhere and the angels are not favoring you, you go and meet the devil and say, wait, maybe the only thing that will happen is that somebody may lower his ambition or suspend his own ambition for some time and say, okay, you can do this 2 years, like President Buhari and the former ANC or something, the Tinubu-led, President Tinubu-led party, AC. And then, okay, have your 8 years. But I'm not sure that people are ready to wait like that because age is not on their favor, it's in their favor, most of them. Some of them are already 70-something, 60, 70-something. So if you wait for 8 years, you're already 80-something or close to 90. Age will not favor you to become president at that time. That's why they are in the rat race to grab now because of age factor. By the time we are still enduring. By the time a time will come where Nigeria will say, if you are 85, 90, you cannot rule Nigeria again. Let another person do it. And so they know that they don't have the age and the luxury of age and time like the other guys have. So I'm of the opinion that the only thing that we can do, if a successful coalition in Nigeria will require more than a common enemy, it must be driven by shared vision, sacrifice, and a credible candidate who can bridge Nigeria diversity. If those things are missing, if these fighter forces are missing, there can be a successful coalition. And I maintain again, that successful coalition will require more than just let's fight a common enemy, which is what we have now. Let's just fight a common enemy. Let's just bring this person down. When you bring that person down, if you are able at all, it will still be you returning to things. So, like I said, a successful coalition must be driven by shared vision. I can't see that one in this coalition itself. Neither am I seeing it in the present ruling party. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. My opinion does not have to be something that everybody agree. And it must be people driven and sacrifice driven. And credible candidate must be presented. Now, if you fight the common enemy and you don't have a credible candidate, what have you done? You have only helped to dismantle a government and you are bringing another one. At the end of the day, people continue to suffer, but your ambition is fulfilled as an individual. So we need to think about this. The people that are saying they are doing coalition, they need to think again and again. Will they enjoy full merger like APC and NNC? Because that full merger helped them. I'm seeing a situation where that is difficult to have a full merger of all the interest in this coalition because they are from different parties, APC, PDP, this other, what is the name of this party in the East? Abga. So when you look at all those factions, you will discover that to have a successful merger, it may be a difficult thing, as ego will continue to rear its ugly head. Coming out with the right strategic vision will also be difficult because all of them will bring in their own vision, and it will take real humility to accept that we need to do things. Otherwise, their separate identity will still show forth, and it will show forth in their programming, in their campaign, in the individualities and the personality that make up the new coalition, as far as I'm concerned. So I think that they need to go back and renegotiate. What exactly are they looking for?
Okay.
Is it to fight just the common enemy? Because if you only fight the common enemy, that's not a successful coalition until you're able to present a better candidate until you are able to show forth sacrifices, until you are able to ensure that people are at the center of that coalition, you are not ready. And I'm sure that this will be something that will boomerang and that may work in favor of APC, no matter how much you hate them. You can see their common enemy. But fighting the common enemy will not be the best as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, you still listen to The Current on Melody 107.7 FM. We are discussing the matter of the Labour Party and the coalition, matters arising. And we have Yinka Olaito as our guest this morning. Yes, a public analyst who has been shedding light on the topic of discussion. If you are listening to us and you want to be part of this conversation, it's now time for you to join this conversation. 0704-800-1077, 0704-800-1077, 0906-201177, 0906-011077. These are the numbers to call to be part of this conversation. Don't also forget that you can join us on Melody 107.7 FM on Facebook and other of our social media platforms. Yes, those numbers dished out are also for the WhatsApp. You can drop your comment beneath the video you're seeing or also on the WhatsApp to express your opinion or your question as we are discussing the case of Labour Party, the coalition's matters arising. Okay, coming back to our guest. Yesterday at a conference, a consultative forum that was held somewhere in the Air Force Conference Center in Abuja. In attendance was one of the party, People's Democratic Party godfathers or founding fathers, person of Professor Jerry Ghana. He is of the opinion that the presidential ticket should be zoned to the South in 2027 in the spirit of equity, fair play and justice, according to him. And he's also of the opinion that the party will return strong, away from the opinion that the People's Democratic Party is sinking or is long gone. What's your opinion as regards the comment of this founding father of the People's Democratic Party?
I think that for equity's sake, we should not
Before
condemn.
you go on, we have a caller. Please let me allow this person to join this conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You have to do on the line.
Okay, we are
From Fagba.
okay from Fagba. Thank you.
Yeah. I thank our guests. In fact, he has said it all. Because the question I wanted to ask, he has answered it. Because I wanted to ask that both Atiku, Obi, and Rotimi Amechi, all of them are just going for power. Because Rotimi Amechi lost in the APC primary election in 2022, and that's the reason why it's no longer with the current president. But however, Peter Obi, I would have loved him to go back to Labour, because even if at all there is wrangling, internal wrangling in the party, and you want to rule Nigeria. Nigeria is you have a different ethnicity, religions, and what have you. The problem with Nigeria is more than that of the Labour Party internal wrangling. So I want our guests to just advise, or what did he say to you, that is it not even better for Peter Obi to go back to Labour Party and settle with Julius Aburi? Because Julius Aburi is the chairman of he was the chairman, he was still the chairman. Obi met him there. How would you now say, okay, you want him to leave that seat because however you are working professor of Labour Party? So is it not possible for Obi to go back to Labour Party and settle the internal wrangling than this ADC coalition of a team? That's what I want to ask the yes. Is it possible for Obi to go back and settle the internal wranglings?
Okay, thank you, Biodo.
Officially, Obi has not declared that they have left Labour Party. So your insinuation that you should go back to Labour Party, I think that we still need to assume that Obi is still in Labour Party until he make official declaration. But the fact is, Obi had been in Labour Party in the past 2-3 years. I think he joined in 2022. And if he had done everything possible to ensure that party structures and leadership submit to an ideological principles, if there's any, and it appears that everybody want to flex their muscle. And interestingly, there are 3 functions now. Now, going back to Abure-led party faction does not justify that the Nenandi and the whole Apapa factions will also be happy with him. So we should look at how can they bring unity between the 3 parties and they form a formidable alliance. That is, unfortunately, the ruling party is benefiting from that disunity and destruction. But I must also warn that it is not a free day for the ruling party too, as they face significant public dissatisfaction due to economic hardship, insecurity, and governance issue too. But let's not go into the ruling party. Let's focus on what we're discussing, whether Obi can do anything. I think that he will have done his best to ensure that Abure-led, the Nanandi that just came off, the Apapa-led faction could have come together in unity. Some of these leaders are not really particular about people. It's about self-interest. And where you allow ego and self-interest to rule your mind and your decision, it will be difficult to work with a principled person, quote and unquote, like Obi. Obi is looking for serving the people according to him, and that's what he's preaching. So other party leaders, they want to benefit from the system, and they want enough recognition. But like I said, it is not about you. If you are going to, a leader must be able to sacrifice a lot to ensure that is able to bring unity and is able to lead the party or the organization into the promised land. These qualities, I'm afraid, I'm not seeing in some of the leaders within the Labour Party or any of other party. It's about personal interest. And coming back to Professor Ghana.
Before you talked about that of Professor Ghana, let's also quickly look at what you said made me to want us to quickly look at this. Few weeks ago, Abure was in Abuja to visit the Labour Party, to visit Wike, the FCT minister, and this relationship, it looks like probably there is a force, probably from the ruling party, that is responsible for the crisis of Labour Party not to come together.
My brother, see, the more you look, the less you see. That's the politics anywhere. It's about who is. See, there are always an invisible hand that is beating the drum somewhere when you come to politics. So, a politician that is a strategic one and a tactician looking for what to gain, they are not looking for posterity or what history will say about them. Only very few of them are doing that. And it's a reflection of the society. Check the family system. Check everywhere. How many of us care about the names? In those days, for those who grew up in the 60s, 70s, we are more concerned about the name. Name is not important now. And justify the means. So I'm afraid that I will not say that the Abure-led frolicking with Wiki is the cause. Before now, LP had always been in that trouble from day one. Post-election, from 2023 election, they have all been one thing or the other leading to this they should have resolved this.
Okay, let me quickly pick this call and I'll come back to you. Hello, good morning. So, apologies. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, yeah, good morning once more. This is Biodun calling back.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah, I want to thank the guests once more. They make mention of one word, sacrifice for unity.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just want to recap or to confirm. I think the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did that when Buhari was swearing to power in 2015, 2016, when the El-Rufai and the rest of others from CPC broke him off. They even told him that he's not their national leader. For someone that wants unity in a party, did not sacrifice for unity. And look at it today. Look at him today, rather. He's enjoying the sacrifice for the unity. At the end of the day, he won the battle and he was recognized and he's still in the APC. So that's the reason why I'm saying that what is the problem with Obi that he cannot, is there any way that he can still do it the way Asiwaju did it so that they can be able to achieve the unity?
The other one, party leader. Asiwaju has ambition to become president and he sacrificed. Obi is not any faction leader, except that he has the youth-led obedience. So Obi did not form any party before. He was in PDP. So his case is a bit different from the President Tinubu, as far as I'm concerned. And that's my opinion, like I said, and my opinion does not have to be accepted by all the generality. But Asiwaju is a party leader for AG in those days. And to a certain level, they've won elections in the Southwest. Obi, he was formerly part of ABGA.
Yes.
So he wasn't the leader of ABGA, but because his party won, they made him leader in that state. But he was not recognized as ABGA leader at the national level. He's just an individual with clout. Maybe, let's say that. So I didn't mean that he is a leader of the party from day one. Maybe if he had been the leader of ABGA and he comes to this LP, Labour Party, and say, we are coming to join you. When Obi left ABGA continued to operate.
Okay.
That means that he's not a leader there. He's not the owner of that. He's not the face of that party.
Okay. Because of our time, let's quickly look at. You wanted to react to the issue of that Professor Ghana. Let's quickly look at that within 1-2 minutes.
Yeah, that Professor Ghana. There are unwritten laws in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, that it should be the south when it is southern turn, you should do 8 years, and then you move to the north. Now, that has been the equation since. You can go and check. Obasanjo did 8 years south. He came back to the north, which Buhari clinched for 8 years. Now, everybody feel is the turn of the south, which is, and when you say south, it's combined both the south, southeast, and all of them together. So I think that in the interest of fairness, that's where Professor Ghana was saying what he was saying, that see, if we actually want to build something, we must make that sacrifice that we have been making. When it was the turn of the north, during Buhari, nobody pulled any strong force against him. They allowed him. Unfortunately, when you look at last election in PDP, which now led to the breakdown of the PDP, so to say, PDP is still there, I would say still there, but you will see that a Northern had just finished 8 years and a Northerner want to continue. And they call into action and say, it's never done. It is now the turn of the South. So let's have South. But personal ambition, like I said, will not allow that to flow through. and therefore all of them lost at the end of the day. Now, in the interest of, okay, let South complete their 8 years. South does not have to be Southwest. Maybe it can be South-South from other side from East. But let it just be it's from the South. So that in the interest of peace and fairness, let's have this. And maybe if PDP had looked at that in 2023, maybe they will have won. But I'm sure that at that time too, they do not have a strong candidate that can actually pull all the South together, because only Wike was the person coming prominently strong. And at that time, Wike brand may not be able to compel that kind of mass vote.
Okay, let's conclusively discuss these. And that is looking at the issue of the conflict or the crisis in Labour Party, and also the way that the coalition has started with different individuals coming to parade themselves as, okay, please give me one time. I will do this, I will do that. Now, what do you see as the long-term implication of all of this to Nigerians' democracy?
See, we are not yet there. Because if you see, like you said, you know what, that's why I laugh. Give me one time. So it's about give me. It's not about the people. It's about personal ambition of people. And like I said, like as long as the politics about personal ambition, which is always the case in most cases, you won't have a democracy that is all encompassing and mutually beneficial, because you will always have that faction and you always have a cabal, like they will say use in Nigeria, because it's like it's my turn, it's our turn. It is not about collective vision. So our democracy will continue to suffer, and I'm not sure it is only Nigeria alone. I think it's everywhere in Africa, and even in the advanced countries. You see how these elements in all the politics across. But just that, in some advanced country, people are more willing to make little sacrifices to ensure that democracy thrives. Institutions are built. Unfortunately, here we destroy the institutions so that certain people can scale through. If we are going to look at issue of corruption, and you know how many cases of corruption are against most of our leaders today, that institution is going through, we are not building the institution that will make democracy thrive as much as we will all desire. So as far as I'm concerned, except we get to, and I think that for me, I think we must begin to raise a new breed of politicians.
Okay.
Whose ambition is about changing this narrative for development, where we focus on developmental goal. Like somebody will say, what is the vision of Nigeria that you know? Every other nation has a vision that we're driving at.
Yes.
What is the vision? How many of us know what the vision? And you see, the vision you don't know and you don't see, you cannot pursue it. Now, everybody comes with 7 agenda, 9 agenda. After that, there's no continuity. You can't run democracy that way. A sustainable democracy will always look at the long-term vision, the impact of the policies that are made, the kind of look at Dubai before you become president or UAE.
Okay.
You've gone through a lot. You know policy, you know economy, you know a lot, and it is not. Go to our National Assembly and go and check the quality that we have there. I'm not saying anything.
Okay, I won't want us to dwell on that, but I would just want us to call it a day with this conversation.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, because our listener, I really appreciate the time. Okay. And then we can continue the conversation one other day.
Okay, please, we will do that.
All right, thank you. Enjoy your day.
You too. Yes, thank you so much, our guest there, Yinka Olaito. If time permits, he will drag us beyond this because he's so seasoned so knowledgeable about what we are discussing.